I never really thought of discipline as something to shoot for. Honestly, whenever I heard someone called disciplined, I'd picture them as kind of stiff or no fun. But after reading this book, I realized just how big of a deal discipline actually is. The way it's explained here totally changed my perspective. Stick with me if you want to dodge regrets down the road. In this video, I'll break down the main takeaways from Ryan Holiday's best-selling book, Discipline is Destiny, plus a few of my own thoughts. The book kicks off with a story from Greek mythology, our guy Hercules. He comes to a crossroads. One path promises him a life of luxury, no pain, no worries, everything he could ever want. The other path, not so flashy. There are rewards, but only if he puts in the work. It's a long, tough road. It takes grit and sacrifice. But it's that journey that shapes him into who he's supposed to be. Honestly, we all hit these crossroads every day. There's the easy road that doesn't really lead anywhere. And then there's the hard road, the one that actually pays off. At the end of the day, it's about picking what's right over what's easy. And of course, Hercules goes for the tough but meaningful path, the one that turns him into his best self. Now, it's your turn to make that choice. Self-discipline sets you free. These days, the average person lives a life that folks 300 years ago couldn't even dream of. We don't have to deal with most of the struggles they faced. Sure, we've got problems, but honestly, how big are they? Think about it. Most of us have our own place, our own car, no worries about staying warm, and screens everywhere to keep us entertained. With just a tap or a click, you can get pretty much anything delivered right to your door. Try seeing your life for a second through the eyes of someone from 300 years ago. You'll realize just how wild things are now. But even with all this freedom, a lot of us still aren't happy. Maybe those folks back then were happier than we are. So, what's missing? When we can get anything, anytime, it's easy to go overboard. All these things that are supposed to set us free can actually leave us feeling lost and kind of empty. That's where self-discipline comes in. For me, it's all about setting limits for yourself. Yeah, it's not easy. We all struggle with it. But even though it's tough, the payoff is huge. With self-discipline, you skip that gross feeling from overeating. If you get up early, you don't feel like a slacker all day. If you steer clear of people who are always complaining, you don't get sucked into their negativity. I bet you can think of a bunch of other ways self-control makes life better. Self-discipline isn't about missing out. It's actually the total opposite. It's about taking charge so you can open the door to a ton of new opportunities. Just remember, the strongest person is the one who's got control over themselves. Discipline equals freedom. If you always go for the easy way out now, life's just gonna get tougher later. But if you're willing to make the hard calls today, you're setting yourself up for a smoother ride down the line. If you keep taking shortcuts, chances are you won't be happy with where you end up. But if you're ready to make smart sacrifices and face challenges head-on, you'll start building a future you can actually be proud of. No doubt about it, people who take control of their lives right now are the ones who come out on top in the long run. Whatever's on your mind, the most important thing is to just get started. There's an old saying, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The next best time is right now. Discipline isn't a punishment, it's actually a gift. When you keep your worst impulses in check, you're giving yourself the freedom to make the most out of life. Letting everyone and everything around you call the shots isn't any way to live. If the number of likes you get on a post decides whether you're having a good day or a bad one, is social media really that fun? The world's always going to try to distract you from what really matters. You either chase your own dreams, or you'll get hired to help someone else chase theirs. Self-discipline is your ticket out. It's your escape from confusion, negativity, and feeling stuck. And it's a gift you can give yourself not tomorrow, not next week, but right here, right now. Most people don't see self-discipline like this. They think it means missing out or holding themselves back. But honestly, discipline is an awesome chance to make your time on this earth as amazing as possible. Limits and boundaries actually make everything else possible. Think about it. Letters only make sense when they're in the right order. You can't make art out of random letters. Grammar and structure are what make great stories possible. It's the same with working out or playing sports. Pushing yourself gets you way better results in the end. If you spend a little less time watching TV and use that time to think, you might come up with all sorts of new business ideas. Here's another important thing. Self-discipline is really just self-love. You don't set boundaries because you don't like yourself. It's the exact opposite. You set them because you care about yourself. You want the best for yourself, and you're willing to do whatever it takes to prove to your future self that you care. Treat yourself like you'd treat your best friend, someone you're responsible for helping, someone you want to see win. Consistency is a superpower. When it comes to making it big, it's not about being inspired or a genius. It's all about showing up, day after day. There are tons of smart and talented people out there, but not everyone actually puts in the work. That's why, even when you're tired, swamped, or just not feeling it, you gotta stick to your priorities. Just do something, even if it's tiny. Go for a quick 10-minute run. Knock out 10 pages of a book. Once you make it a habit, you'll start to see the momentum build. That 10-minute run can turn into 30. Those 10 pages can turn into 100. Growth is usually exponential. At first, you barely notice anything, but over time, it becomes super obvious. Here's another example. It's pretty clear that hitting the gym once and working out for 10 hours straight isn't gonna get you in shape. One workout won't change your body, but if you work out for just 20 minutes a day, every single day, for 6 weeks, you'll start to see results. Start today. In 2 weeks, you'll feel it. In 4 weeks, you'll see it. In 6 weeks, people will start asking what your secret is. Here's the thing. People usually overestimate what they can get done in a day, but way underestimate what they can pull off in a year. The most disciplined folks out there get this. They don't expect instant results from every little thing, but they trust the process. They're mentally ready to stick it out. Make a promise to yourself to do something 100 times. This is what I call the rule of 100. The idea is to commit to doing something important and keep at it long enough that it's almost impossible not to win. If you're in sales, picture making 100 sales calls every single day for a whole year. Don't you think you'd rake in way more cash? If you're a writer, what if you wrote 1 article a day for a year? By the end of the year, you'd be in an awesome spot. Whatever you do, try to do it every day. Is it tough? For sure. But even if you just do squats once a week for a year, you'll have stronger legs and a whole new look. People know this, but most folks don't actually follow through. That's where your edge comes in. The good news? Most people won't do it because it's hard. They don't show up. They can't even stick to one small thing a day. Sure, sometimes it feels like you're out there all alone running in the rain, but that's what being a leader is all about. It's a little lonely by nature. That's why the mornings are so quiet. All the opportunities, they're yours for the taking. Who's in control of your body? Having self-discipline over your body is all about building stamina and making a long-term investment in yourself. If you want to beat laziness, you've got to put in the work and invest in your body. There are tons of little changes you can make in your life to take charge of your body before it takes charge of you. First, add some physically challenging activities to your daily routine. It doesn't really matter what you do, hitting the gym, shooting hoops, taking long walks, or even training for a marathon. The key is, these activities should push you out of your comfort zone. You should actually look for discomfort. Maybe you think success means avoiding struggle, but honestly, too much comfort just makes us soft, dependent, and scared of losing what we've got. When you push yourself, you get stronger, and you make it harder for anyone else to push you around. So, challenge yourself. Take cold showers, try sleeping on the floor, or see if you can get by with less. In the end, you'll find yourself richer, freer, and stronger. Remember, when you invest in your body, you're also building up your willpower. There's a reason people say, a sound mind in a sound body. Getting strong isn't just about muscles, it's about unlocking a healthy mind too. Next up, hit the sack early. There are 2 big reasons for this. First, you need enough sleep. Be real. Do you do better when you're well rested or when you're running on fumes and can barely keep your eyes open? It might sound basic, but getting enough sleep can seriously change your life. You'll have more energy, more motivation, and you'll make smarter choices. The second reason is that you can totally own your mornings, those quiet early hours when your mind is sharpest and your willpower is at its strongest. If you get enough sleep, you can get up and get going before the stress of the day starts to wear you down. Build physical self-discipline to strengthen your mind. When you practice self-discipline with your body, you're actually giving your mind the power to work at its best. This isn't just talk. Neuroscientist Lisa Feldman Barrett found that your brain works better when your body's in good shape. If you're physically wiped out, your brain can't keep everything in balance. Of course, that doesn't mean having big muscles is all that matters. There are plenty of people who are physically disciplined, but their lives still aren't great. If your mind's always distracted, in a bad mood, or stuck in self-sabotaging habits, it won't matter when you wake up, what you eat, or how hard you push yourself. That's why balance is key. You only see the whole picture when all the pieces are in place. Once you've got your body in check, it's time to tackle the next step, managing your mind. This means finding balance in how you feel, think, and react, even when life gets crazy. You know that old saying, keep calm and carry on? There's a split second between something happening and how you react. That moment is everything. Don't just snap back at everything going on around you. Use that pause to think, get your head together, and maybe wait for more info. Otherwise, you can slip into bad habits, getting offended, jumping to conclusions, and blaming others. Bad situations don't get better if you react badly. They just get worse. So, work on building that split second of patience before you react. Ask yourself if what you're going through is really as bad as it feels. Don't let fear, anger, or bias run the show. And don't chase perfection. Getting hung up on being perfect just means you'll miss out on actually getting things done and learning from your mistakes. Instead of trying to be perfect, just focus on doing your best. Remember, perfect is the enemy of good. Failure doesn't last forever. It's just a chance to grow. The truth is, everyone can get better. Socrates knew he didn't know much, but he was sure about one thing: we can't stay the way we are. Whether you believe this or not becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. If you believe you can get better, you will. If you don't, you're right, you won't. To be your best self, you've got to get your body, mind, and spirit working together. Self-discipline doesn't mean much unless you balance it with kindness, compassion, and love. Finding balance isn't easy. Sometimes, people won't get your choices or see things the way you do. You start to realize everyone's on their own path, just trying to do their best. You're not here to judge anyone. You're here to accept people as they are and maybe inspire them to level up. Here's a quick story. One morning in Athens, a philosopher runs into a guy who makes fun of him for messing up. The philosopher stops and says, "Hey, just remember, you're not talking to a bad person. If you're self-disciplined, you set the bar high, push your limits, and don't make excuses. But that doesn't mean you should beat yourself up or get down on yourself when you mess up. If your friend messed up, would you call them a terrible person? Probably not. You'd tell them it's not the end of the world and cheer them on to keep going. Try talking to yourself the same way. Be your own best friend." Your environment shapes where you end up in life. You've probably heard that you're the average of the 5 people you hang out with most, but it's more than that. It's also about the books you read, the podcasts you listen to, the food you eat, and so much more. Your environment is always shaping you. The quality of what you take in really matters a lot. Most of the time, we don't get to pick our environment. We're born in certain places, to certain families, and around certain ideas and traditions. So, you're not totally responsible for everything that happens to you. Focus on what you can control. Pay attention to how your environment affects your ability to delay gratification and build the life you want. These days, it can feel like the world's working against us, making even small challenges tough to handle. Think of it like this. When a hacker wants to crash a website, they flood it with traffic until it shuts down. Our minds can feel the same way, overloaded with info, distracted, and stuck. Sometimes it's just too much, and you're not sure how to deal with it. You're under constant pressure. You've got to do something about it. Take some time to figure out how your environment can help you reach your goals. Who you spend time with matters. What you think about and focus on matters. The books you read and the knowledge you pick up matter. But sometimes, it all just gets to be too much. When that happens, cut back on what you're taking in, slow down, and let in only the best, the stuff that really helps you. Read the best books, hang out with awesome people, fuel your body with the best food. Don't settle for less. The universal secret to success. Sticking with anything is almost impossible unless you have the discipline to say no to all the other distractions. Whether it's scrolling through Instagram, taking a spontaneous road trip, grabbing dinner with friends, or chasing the latest trend that's hard to pass up. Nobody's saying these things aren't fun or that they can't be good for you. But just remember, there's always an opportunity cost. Every choice means giving up something else. If what you're giving up matters more to you, maybe those choices don't really add up. Every time you say yes to something, you're saying no to something else. You can't be in two places at once. You can't give your full attention to more than one thing. Saying no is actually saying yes to what really matters. Turning down one opportunity usually means you're making room for something better. Self-discipline isn't about missing out. It's about taking charge of your actions, your thoughts, and your emotions. Don't try to build a huge wall all at once. Just focus on laying one brick as perfectly as you can. If you do that every single day, eventually you'll have an amazing wall. Your only job is to lay that one brick a little better each day. And what makes this possible? Discipline, plain and simple. Are you going to be brave or let fear win? Are you going to be strong or settle for less? Are you going to be wise or play the fool? Are you going to take the easy way out or do what's right? The choice is yours.
I wake up every minute with the fever dreams. I push my mind to a limit where it needs to feed. I work blind, got vision I don't need to see. I'm picking mind over matter, I believe in me. I need to find more hours in the day to breathe. Need to find more power in the way I be. And when my